Hi, this is Pete Nelson, and this video blog is called On-Time Delivery at What Cost? Advanced planning and scheduling, or APS systems, have long promised to automate the scheduling process and make life easier for planners. Software companies have tended to focus on being user-friendly with graphical planning boards and drag and drop on the Gantt charts, or being easy to use with ad hoc reporting, configurable screens, and on and on. But what is the financial benefit to the business if a planner is now able to drag and drop where copying and pasting with spreadsheets was adequate before? Not long ago, too little attention was paid by both software vendors and their customers to the dollar gains possible by using an APS. Maybe we all got distracted by the colorful, pretty blocks moving around on the screen and forgot to take a close look at how drag and drop will really improve the business, or if the business can be improved with better scheduling at all. That's all changed, thankfully. Manufacturers are much more focused on financial results from their improvement projects and not just pretty screens. What company would implement a new program just because it looks nicer than the current system? A high degree of value has to be evident for an APS project to have a chance of success. I do think that there is value in drag and drop techniques in the right situation. For example, even just updating a spreadsheet with new data can take hours, so when schedules change, it's a big issue for many manufacturers. Time and productivity for the planner is lost, and the analysis of the changes are often inadequate when they are completed. So just having a link to the sources of planning data and transactions is a big step in the right direction. The planner's time and money are saved, and sophisticated ROI analysis is not needed to see that. Manufacturers should benefit from taking a full-time planner, giving her the tools she needs to create better schedules quickly, and applying her in-depth knowledge of the company's processes to drive better productivity results instead of spending hours updating data and participating in meetings. With drag and drop, at the very least, users have the option of having a visual scheduling board to understand timelines and resources involved for each job or operation. In cases where multiple resources requirements are present but not overly restricted, a graphical drag of a timeline to replan upstream and downstream operations can save much of that lost productivity for planners. Not to mention, setting the start time of a process exactly where it is needed to minimize inventory requirements to supply it, and having a solid estimate of the end date for delivery to the customer. More value starts to build from a very basic beginning. On the other hand, why not go with optimizing your demands and supplies through a constraint-based model and forget about manually adjusting the schedule? It's tempting, though there is the possibility that true optimization tools can be too complex to implement quickly or inexpensively enough, and it's even tougher to modify those optimization tools when business conditions change, as we know that they will. So compromises might be made, like loading resources with orders by due date, manually tweaking the schedule from there. But is there a middle ground that delivers value to a business quickly, takes less effort to maintain, with either changing the optimization parameters or allowing the user to intervene excessively? There does seem to be the main parameters that most manufacturers will consider when trying to create a better schedule. Within a plant or facility, I'm excluding right now transportation costs or lead times here in this discussion. Number one, the most popular parameter, of course, are going to be the due dates to either customers or to inventory. Number two, people will certainly look at costs, whether those are labor costs, equipment costs, inventory carrying costs, and materials. Number three, productivity tends to be a big driver, trying to minimize changeovers between different products, for example. And finally, we also see this pretty often as well, managing different customer priorities. Customer A is more important than customer B, sometimes. Being able to find the right balance between these often competing factors could be helpful before resorting to a manual adjustment of the schedule via drag and drop. Business conditions will change, so it seems very important for end users to adjust software parameters that drive the automated capacity loading process. That part must be intuitive or value is lost. The drag and drop function must be just as responsive and intuitive when it's needed. If the impact of schedule changes can be tied to those same financial performance measures that inspired the implementation of an APS system in the first place, then there can be little doubt about the value of switching planning systems. Customers and vendors need to work together to accomplish this, and I think that requires a special kind of mindset for everybody. And of course, I feel also that the responsibility starts with the vendors. What are your thoughts? Thanks for watching.